Well, we're so glad to welcome back a familiar face to 100 Huntley Street, someone who's passionate about helping people live healthier lives from the inside out. Sandra Tadros Guirguis is a registered pharmacist, certified fitness instructor, and author of Embracing Abundance. She's on a mission to help people live longer, feel stronger, and she's here to help us with all of it today. Sandra, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
Well, Sandra, you have a very interesting focus for health and wellness. So you're a pharmacist, but you also are a fitness instructor. Tell us about how those two worlds come together for you.
Sure. So a lot of people think of the pharmacist and they think of their medications, right? I see someone anywhere and they're like, let me tell you about these meds. But pharmacists are also trained to help people with non-pharmacological strategies, right? So a lot of medical guidelines, first line is how you're eating. Are you exercising? How do you get your blood pressure down? Are you using the DASH diet? So I've always been passionate about, let's try to get you there, you know, doing all of the lifestyle things, adding medications if needed and when needed, helping people feel empowered. How the fitness journey came to be, you remember when I came and I shared about my grief story, Laura? I had to move. So I was at home with my little girl, and this was when my late husband was still alive, but starting to feel sick, and I would just cry all the time. There's hormonal changes after you have a baby. There's so many things. So I remember putting her in one of those, you know, those strap things, right? Yeah. And I joined a mom and baby fitness group, and it was so nice. I would get out and I would move, you know, with Bella, you know, perched here, and I came to love it. We would sit together in a circle after, and it was really a lot like fellowship. Yeah. You know, we would sit and we'd share our struggles, how we felt so incapable and, you know, struggling with these first-time parenthood. I became so passionate about it. I ended up pursuing my certification in fitness and healthy eating and personal training. Yeah. And so now I think of it as I try to help people stay out of the medical center by getting them to do these things first. But if they come and join us and they've got anxiety or depression or high blood pressure or diabetes or osteoporosis, we at least know how to give them that holistic care.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's getting nervous because we're going to be doing some of these exercises soon with you.
No, I feel like I'm ready.
Right? He's opposite. He's ready. He's ready. Well, you know, we do have some viewers, of course, who are in a season of grief or transition.
Yes.
You know, often when we hit the golden years, we may be grieving the loss of a loved one or even the job we loved or maybe the community we loved. Sandra, what would you say to that person who is going through that kind of season about their health and wellness and the importance of a lot of the factors they need to be considering?
I love that you mentioned, Laura, about grief not just being bereavement. So a lot of times people think about grief and, you know, they feel like that just has to do with someone that's passed. But we grieve a lot of things. There's people that grieve that they've retired, right? They come and they tell me in this season, I don't know what to do with my days at first. And then, of course, they get busier than ever and love it. But there's a lot of things you can grieve, right? The relationships and seasons and health, as you mentioned. I know from my own season and my own healthcare training, we learned that the number one protective factor was having that extension of care and hope. So for me, it was faith. It was, you know, putting myself in that prayer circle, even if I was still upset with God and hurt because it wasn't the outcome that I had prayed for, right? But knowing that He's got me, and your closing words, I saw in an earlier episode of God's Not Done With You Yet, right? And then tapping into community. I didn't want to see people. I felt like this big, sad, wet blanket, or they would say, how are you? Meaning well, but it would make me even sadder. So it's hard, but I would really recommend anyone who's struggling, find even one safe person in your community that you can, and you can even prep them. You can say, let's go sit for coffee. I don't want to talk. Please don't ask me about, you know, whatever. I would just love to walk with you.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
That's good. Yeah. And what about the simple thing as just aging factor?
Yes.
That brings a little bit of depression and uncertainty.
For sure. And I find that perspective helps so much. For example, in the fitness classes, after Thanksgiving, there's a lot of people that will come into the studio and they'll say, I have to work out because I have to burn the cake, or I have to burn. And I often, again, you remember, I come from a Middle Eastern household. Like, we eat, like, that's how we show love, right? Yes.
We come.
Absolutely. So and again, I always will try to gently shift that perspective and say, hey guys, we exercise to celebrate what our body can do, not to punish ourselves for what we ate.
That's good.
Mic drop moment, right?
Totally.
So, and then all of a sudden, people are having so much fun instead of like,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
That guilt feeling.
did I burn it yet, right? Versus like, wow, I woke up this morning. God gave me breath in my lungs. I can move.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, this is so good. And speaking of moving, we've got some moves that we're about to show you. Sandra's going to lead us through some exercises. I'm sitting here with my water to be refreshed while I watch them do the exercises. I'm going to be the color commentator. But listen, I've got my runners on, so I'm sort of halfway there.
You absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, we want you to be ready to do a few moves if you're able. So first, we're going to do some standing moves. One that Sandra's about to teach us is so key to regulating your blood sugar. And then we're going to do some seated moves. So let us see what we should do standing-wise, Sandra.
Absolutely. I wanted to say that I really liked Wendell actually coined a term for what we're going to do today. Remember what you called it?
Yes, prayer size.
Yes,
Prayer
size.
Oh, that's good.
So we are grateful and we are excited to move. So the first thing I wanted to discuss was the regular body weight squat.
Okay.
So anytime you contract your muscles, and this is actually in medical literature, and I love it so much when you know, everyone's so excited about what's coming up in new research, and we're like, this is already in the Bible, guys,
Okay.
right? So they were talking about how every time you contract a muscle, so maybe you're taking a brisk walk with a friend, maybe you're doing a squat, whatever it is you're doing, your body releases myokines, which I kid you not, secular scientists are calling hope molecules, because when that muscle contraction happens, it releases the endorphins
Sign
and
me
that
up.
feeling of hope, right?
Now I just got to get off the stool.
But you can contract your muscles seated, right?
Yes. Yes.
So for all of
that
our
drink.
viewers, that's it. Yes, pumping your brachialis muscles. So with the squatting,
Okay, let's see this. Getting ready?
it's important
Getting ready.
because for my patients with osteoporosis, for example, we talk about never, and this is for everybody, safe spine movements is never rounding your spine. Can you use your legs to gently pick things up? If you're walking to your car at the grocery store, so boop, boop, right? I just opened my
very
trunk. I don't want to, that was good, right?
Yeah, it was good.
So I don't want to round my back and twist like this. I want to bend my knees, quarter turn, and drop it into the trunk. So a
Okay.
quick squat, the research is showing every 45 minutes. So say you have a sedentary job. You want to get up, refill your water bottle regularly, and 10 body weight squats or a 3-minute walk in this study has shown that it regulates your blood sugar by 21%.
That is
and we all
significant.
want, you know, regular blood sugar.
Yeah.
So here we
Yes.
go. Shoulders
Okay.
back.
All right.
Remember that posture, you know, is centered, ears above the shoulders, and you're just, while keeping your chest tall, you're going to push back like you're going into a seat. And to protect your knees, you can lift your toes a tiny bit in your sneakers. That helps you move your body weight into the heels where they're supposed to be, not cropping forward and putting weight on the knees. So just as low as comfortable, you can just do a tiny squat, pushing out of your heels
That's
and
good.
clenching your glutes together. Yes,
Yeah.
at the top. So there is your body weight squat.
That's incredible. So very simple to do.
Very simple.
Do it
10
anywhere.
body weight, like not
Yeah.
even weights, not
Okay. Okay. So then we've got some chair exercises.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what those are. I'm getting ready, like
Yeah.
in my stool, like
Ready?
You know, but I'm really just the cheer.
Let's
I'm
do
the
this.
cheering section.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Or the heckler.
Laura's going to
Okay.
break it in the sweat very soon,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. I'll be breaking on the sweat watching you guys.
And we'll just mention to anybody watching, of course, move in a way that feels good. If you have any pre-existing medical conditions, if there's anything that doesn't feel right, check with your primary care provider. Don't let it discourage you from moving, but just be safe.
Yes.
Okay? And if you have rugs at home, those are sometimes area rugs can be tripping hazards. So before you start exercising, a lot of the falls prevention clinics will say, clear those away. So are you ready for prayer size?
I'm ready
Are
for
you
prayer
ready?
size.
Laura, you ready too?
Yeah. I'm always ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So you are going to lift your prayers
Okay.
up to heaven
Oh.
and release. My friends with shoulder issues, you can just do tiny taps here.
Well, I do have
Okay?
a shoulder issue. So
Then you
not
keep it
little
small.
tiny
You can do the
taps.
modified. You know,
Very
like in the old
cool.
school fitness videos?
Yeah.
You're doing the modification. So 4. I know we have more than 3 prayers. 3, 2. If not, I can give you some of mine. Please call me. 1. And now what were we told to do? We're told to go out and spread what? The message, right?
Yes.
So we are going to spread the message. Spread the great news how much Jesus loves us.
This is great.
This is so
How much
good.
he's not done with us. We're also correcting our posture and turning movement into praise and prayer.
Oh, you're
All
natural
right.
at this.
Holding
it must be because
here.
he's a pastor.
Yes,
Spread the
that's right.
message.
So prayer hands, right? And you're going to open one. You're going to gently turn to the light. So that's a thoracic rotation. Very nice and gentle.
Oh, look at that form. You're so
Excellent.
good at that.
And a lot of times people will do this twist and find they're tighter on one side. So then we do some extra stretches for that. One day I was taking a medical history, I kid you not, and I was asking about physical activity. And this cute older lady said to me, well, I don't exercise per se, but I walk with the Lord. Does that count? It was so cute. I was like, that's amazing. Can you do that with him outside? Like walking? I could.
That'll be walker size.
Yes,
Walker size. That's
so
right.
now we're going to lift our legs.
Oh, okay.
Just gentle knee rises. Did you know, here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
When you use strong arms, you're burning an extra 15% calories.
What?
In any movement.
Wow.
This is so helpful
So we
to
can
know.
hold here and continue to march if you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You can extend one leg. Flex, point, release.
This is hard not to jump in.
Right?
Flex.
Yeah,
point,
you got it.
release. Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
It's amazing because you're just sitting there, but you can do these
You can
things.
do
and
so much.
It has such a huge benefit on your health.
Absolutely. And the one other thing I would just want to add, so these are some
Yeah.
great job, by the way.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
You're doing very well. I'm breaking out of sweat. You're right. Watching you guys. Just drink some water.
So there's this, in Japan, they have something called forest bathing. It's called Shinrin Yoku, I believe. I might not have pronounced it correctly, where it's moving outside. And new research for memory and preventing Alzheimer's and dementia is showing that dual exercise is so great. And what is that essentially? It's when you combine like movement with something else. So a perfect example, let's go find some greenery, leave our cell phones here and take a walk and talk together.
Oh, I love
So
that.
it's community, it's movement, and it hits on every level. If you add a little prayer, ooh,
Oh boy.
maybe bring a snack, then you're hitting all the good feels.
We're talking the golden years.
Golden
These are the
years.
golden years.
Yes, for
This
real.
is amazing. Sandra, there have been so many good tips here. How do you feel physically?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I missed the water, but I feel good.
I will get you one
Somebody
after.
else is having the water, but I feel good.
Well, and that
Oh, my
hydration
goodness.
is so important
Isn't
for
it?
every part of wellness.
yeah.
And we really do encourage people to always look when they go to the washroom because the color of your urine will talk
Yeah.
about your hydration, which especially in these special years, we're concerned about getting dehydrated and whatnot. So hydrating well.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get dehydrated than we think.
Especially in the
Drinking
summer that we're
water.
getting
Yeah,
into.
that's right.
So pre-hydrate, you want to avoid getting thirsty, really, ideally.
Oh,
Well, thank you,
that's good.
Sandra.
Yes.
And are there any age restrictions doing this kind of stuff? Because it seems so, attainable.
So
Yeah.
that is such a great question. We always tell people if you haven't exercised before and you want to do something more strenuous than walking, good idea is to have a checkup with your family doctor. Eyes, ears, balance, everything. But in general, we don't want it to deter you from movement.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
very good.
So much wisdom in that
Very good,
question.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we are so thrilled that you joined us today, Sandra. I'm going to be using some of these tips, some of these exercise options.
Can I use both
And-
feet, Sandra?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, and then you can do doubles. So when you're
Yeah.
feeling comfortable, you could lift both legs.
Oh, that's good.
For example,
Yeah.
and spread the word.
Yeah,
Right?
spread the
Engaging
word.
that core.
Well,
Wow.
we're so excited that, Sandra, you're going to be doing a guest blog post for us covering some of these health and wellness tips. So go to 100huntley.com to get that. And we are so thrilled you joined us today. Sandra, thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
It's always such a blessing.
Well, stay
guys.
with us. There is so much more to come. Pastor Wendell Gibbs will be speaking to us about our spiritual health in just a moment. Stay with us.
Can't wait.